Yes.
Didn't get that little bit of intelligence there on tape.
She was. I know. Bless her. Okay.
Welcome to the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi After the Show podcast.
We didn't get to it in the show today, so we're going to drop this for you in the podcast, and it does deserve a longer conversation anyway. So yesterday on the show, we did little things. We discussed little things that any man can do to glow up, to be more attractive. And you guys sat up straight for that, and you were here for it. And some of the takeaways were lower facial hair. Facial hair is masculine and largely attractive, but if it's crazy out of control, not as much. So just a thought to keep it neat. And that's general. All of these are general statements. What people find attractive, it varies.
You said one also that it doesn't always occur to me. Not that I don't wear nice shoes, but shoes is what you said. Shoes do make
check a lot of boxes. Women naturally look at, if a woman is interested in a man, I don't look at every man's shoes. People that we work with, like Jeremy, I don't look at his shoes out there, our friend Jeremy. Mm-hmm. But if I were a single girl and there was discussion going on and he was engaging me or had asked me to coffee, that would be part of, I would look him up and down and I would look at the shoes and without even thinking, I think the shoes check a lot of boxes. Attention to detail. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about yourself? How does he feel about himself? Yeah. What kind of person is he? Yeah. Sam, you wear Chucks a lot of the time, and which that message shows playfulness, youth, maybe.
I was going to ask you,
it depends on the woman.
This isn't just for a guy who has to wear hard sole shoes, dress up all the time.
No.
If a woman looks at me with Chucks and it's like...
Slides tell a story. Chucks tell a story. What are the kind that you wear, Murphy? They're like loafer, like work. What kind of work shoes do you wear? I know you've named them.
I have a mix of everything. I have boat shoes. I have just, basic, I guess you would call them business, shoes.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're called,
often.
but
Right.
Yeah, it depends.
A man in cowboy
up.
boots tells a story.
Yeah. I'm not a, the only time I wear sneakers, not that there's anything wrong with wearing them, but I wear those for workouts. But the rest of the time it's either, it's Vans if it's casual.
Right.
Or something like that.
Women are just hardwired to look at your shoes because it does say a lot of little things. Mm-hmm. What if you look amazing from the waist up, but your shoes are ragged and tattered? It's like, what's going on here? I'm not saying spend too much time on your shoes. I'm just telling you.
I want to ask Murphy a question. Mm-hmm. You have Vans?
Yeah.
He does.
What color are they?
Charcoal.
Oh, okay.
You've never seen him rock his Vans? That's because you only see him, here mostly. But anyway.
They're charcoal. I've had those for quite some time. And the charcoal color is really my favorite. I don't know that I've had any other colors on that. Mm-hmm. But, what's crazy is I remember when I bought my first pair of those probably 15 years ago. And Taylor was like, Dad, you've got Vans.
Oh, my gosh,
okay.
cred.
I didn't realize it was a thing. I just think that they're comfortable. And also the soles on them are more anti-slip than a lot of shoes. So they're great. But that's my go-to
and
casual
buttoned
shoes.
Up and very now. Yeah. They really work.
And let me make it clear, there's nothing wrong with sneakers. No. That's just not me. I think y'all know that about me. It's just like I'm not going to be overly casual unless it's really an overly casual situation, because it's not that I care about what people think about me, but you do strike a balance on that. It speaks for you whether you want it to or not. You
100% within 2 seconds.
And if you really don't care, then it doesn't matter. But that doesn't stop other people from making the decisions on it. And so that's why I'm just balanced.
I'm glad you said that, because I do want to move to the women. We promised that we're going to talk about women today. What any woman can do to glow up a bit, to appear a little more, to be more attractive. And I want you guys to jump in on what you want to add, but I want to start with that very discussion. You don't have to do any of this, ladies.
Correct.
You do not. But what you can't control, if you don't want to put yourself together at all, that is the impression that you're going to give. That's the outcome. It doesn't mean you have to be overdone either. We all, can't be Kim Kardashian with the lashes and the hair and the perfect. That's not realistic for most women. But little things that almost any woman can do, and the first part of it is just be a little put together. That could mean one thing. That could mean a belt. That could be a little bit of makeup if you don't want to. Maybe you don't have time. Maybe you wear scrubs all day at your job, and a wardrobe is not something you have to rock or work Monday through Friday on the daily. But there are other things you can do. A lip color goes along. We talked about for men, for some reason, the color light blue works for most men, for most occasions, and it seems attractive. A lip color for a woman works wonders. It does. When you don't wear any lip color, it pops when you do. It boosts your attractiveness. And apparently there are studies, repeated studies show that men, without even thinking about it, notice the lips. Yeah. Notice a woman's mouth.
Makes
okay.
sense.
Another thing that the opposite sex notices about women that you probably never thought of is hair cleanliness and hair health. I think men are naturally wired to notice healthy hair, almost like biologically hardwired to these are the women who bring the babies. Look into it. There's research on it. So do you agree with the hair thing? You were nodding, Sam.
Yeah, I agree with the hair thing, that it has to look clean, but it has to complement who you are, I think.
It has
because
to work.
There are times when long hair looks good, but then depending on the person, short hair, more face.
Yeah,
it just depends on how you're rocking that hair.
Exactly. But wardrobe being a little bit put together. And if you've never done anything like that, start slow. Get a capsule wardrobe, wear some nice pieces. And one of my biggies is dress for your body. I've struggled with that because, my body shape or type, there are certain things I just can't wear that do not look right on me. And I've had to stop picking them up from the hangers at when shopping. Like there are certain dresses that I shouldn't wear for my body type. And it takes you a long time to learn those things, to dress for your body and dress in a way that makes you feel confident. Like Murphy talking about the Vans. You wear the Vans, not that you're worried about what other people think, but they make you feel a certain way. When you wear something that makes you feel good, it shows.
Yeah.
It shows in your movements and your confidence.
Yeah, for me, it's not about the brand. I just like the styling, the way that it looks.
Yes.
If that shoe had any other name on it, I would be fine with that. To me, because it's a casual shoe, but it's put together enough that it doesn't look sloppy.
Right. It's buttoned up.
Yeah.
It's a casual shoe, but it's buttoned up. It checks some boxes.
Yeah.
I was having this conversation with our youngest daughter recently, Phoebe, about when you don't know what to wear. If you're looking at two dresses or two outfits and you don't know what to wear, which one makes you feel the most confident is always the correct answer. It just is. You might love them both. Both of them might be appropriate for the occasion. Both colors might be good for you. Both of them might fit well. But which one would you feel most confident if you were asked to stand up and give a toast where you were? Because you are going to be among people. You just are.
It works for guys too, like that. Because I've had a situation where it's like you got two shirts and it's like, I know this one works, but I really want to try this one.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know what? I'm gonna go with the one that I know works because.
And how it's about how you feel in it. Yeah. Another thing for women, nails. It doesn't have to be long and crazy. You don't have to drop thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars at a salon, but, keep them clean. For some women, it's something short, and sometimes, but in classic colors always work, not distracting nails. Is that right? That's what I'm trying to say.
What do you mean by distracting? Because I like the colorful nails with the designs. You don't mean that's not what you mean by distracting?
I don't know what I mean, but just... it's better to have something classic and elegant, looking good, and whatever color you want to rock is true, but nothing that gets in the way.
To me, it
takes away from you.
I've never seen a nail color get in the way of somebody. It's what
I've
you're
seen
talking
extra
about.
long get in the way for the woman.
Yeah.
Dealing with it.
but
that's her.
Basic. But I think it's more on the hygiene part that you were talking about, which we're all usually taught in 7th or 8th grade as part of PE,
Keep 'em
or
clean.
used to be that way anyway. Is the hair, the nail cleanliness. That's just to me, that's a basic more than it is the color. I've never been off put by anyone's nails or colors. In fact, I like the ones with the swirls and the glitter in them and all that. I think that's pretty cool.
I like
those
the
are
yellow.
statement.
For
Those are
spring,
statement
I like
pieces.
it when there's yellow.
Well,
and you see those.
And to me, again, that's
personal.
you're putting forth effort. Any type of look
It's
that
true.
you're doing, regardless of with your nails like that, is is effort, and maybe that's a little subliminal, positive.
I want to hear what you guys have to add to this. What little things that a woman could do to sort of glow up?
This is going to
Bring
sound
it.
odd because it's basically an unglow, but no makeup confidence.
You like that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like when a woman rocks no makeup and they're cool with it. It's not
Yeah.
like, oh, I should have put that. And it's like, if you're comfy with it,
Yes.
go with it.
That's a really good one to bring in because it's whatever decisions someone makes about their style, the number one thing they should do is be confident in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you wear something outlandish, if you are happy with it, it shows. If you do something that's unexpected, as long as you rock it, that matters.
Yeah. And
Instead of seeming insecure about it.
And I think that goes back to the hygiene thing I was talking about a minute ago. And this really is for both men and women. If you don't have to have the makeup and all the accents as long as you're just you groom, for lack of a better term, right? You know what I mean?
It's true.
And grooming doesn't mean looking fancy or anything like that.
Doesn't have to be. No.
Right. To me, the glow comes from the personality in general, mainly the confidence, and I know that's probably the sum of all parts.
It is.
But all the things that you're describing, Jodi, and I don't think that any of these. You're not obviously intending any of these to be superficial because it's how all of these things make you feel that then causes you to be who you're going to be.
Right.
But I just to me the glow from an independent, assertive, confident, female is always something it's to me it's attractive to me. Mm-hmm. Honestly, it's probably attractive to me in both sexes. What I mean by that is, it's a great personality trait.
Yes.
But for me, for whatever reason, for me, that's the way that I view you, Jodi. It doesn't mean that you're not, feminine in the things you want to be, and obviously none of this is sexist conversation whatsoever. It's not. It's
it's not meant to be
right.
at all.
It's but you are a blend of all of those things, and and that confidence to me, it just really stands out. It ties the whole package together, right?
Well, thanks. When we were first together, you used to compliment me on the way I dressed, and I thought, well, that's interesting. Just because there were not a lot of men who complimented me on the way I dressed specifically. They would say, I like that dress, or I like this jacket, but you would say, I like the way you put this together, or I like what you're wearing. I like the way you used to compliment me on that. Even when I was like, really? What I'm wearing, I halfway through it together?
Yeah.
It's not kind of cool.
Was this when he was wearing those 90 sweaters?
I mean, probably.
Well, it was the 90s. So it's very possible.
Was it really? I thought it was at the end of the 90s.
Can I add another one too?
Please. I love
know
to
you
talk
said
about
you
this
wanted
stuff.
one, but
No. I love to talk about this
the
stuff.
other one to me, and I love it when a woman looks put together casually.
Yes. Not overdone.
Yeah. Because like me, you put a tux on me, I'm going to look good. And I don't mean that in a, I just mean you put a good suit or a good, like on a guy, and they look good. It's like you just look good. But can you look good, or can you look confident
And put together casually?
dressed down?
Right. That's about being elegant no matter what you're wearing. And that's about how you carry yourself. And that is also the sum of all parts. That takes confidence. That takes time, right? That takes time for a woman to feel confident in her own skin and have her own style.
Yeah.
And so she's kind of the same style, whether she's dressed up or down. But I can promise you, if a woman that you guys had never seen walked through here today and she was very elegant but still casual, she would have put some thought into that. You don't carry off elegance accidentally. You don't get put together accidentally. Another little thing, a little thing that shows that you're put together or elevates any outfit is a little and the right amount of jewelry. I struggle with wearing too much jewelry. I love jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm almost always with earrings and a necklace and a ring or two, And some people think that's a little much. Some people say all you need is one good accessory, like one, standout little piece.
Yeah.
And I struggle with just one. Really? And I know that, though. I just thought it was fun to talk about the glow up because of the way you guys reacted to, here's some things you can do to glow up. And I wanted to extend it for the conversation for women. Whatever you want to do for yourself is the real power. You know what I mean? You get to be who you are. You're your own canvas in this life. But there are little things that you would be surprised if you don't do any of this stuff that would maybe make you feel better about you. And that's priceless.
Yeah.
To, play with things and learn to feel better about yourself. One thing that I get complimented on a lot in the last several years, you guys know this, is lip color. And it's one of the reasons is because I don't have a bunch of new friends in my life. I roll with some of the same people, family and friends. But 10 years ago, I was always natural lip color. I barely ever wore it. And then I started playing with brighter colors and bolder colors. And it was always like, oh, wow, your whole face just lit up. I slowly and surely found that I do like that. And it makes me feel confident. I love it.
Yeah.
I don't go to the store without lip color on now.
It sounds like all of it, whether, male or female, it's about intentionality.
Yeah.
And the other thing that occurred to me, Sam, when you said tux, really what you're talking about there to me is there's a certain dress style that commands a certain type of attention. And so when someone's walking into the room for the first time, let's say they're in a military outfit, you're immediately going to respect that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's something that it's going to
bring it with you.
Right. It's going to paint an image for you that all the things that go along with being, in the military. And so
Sure.
that's why whatever clothing we wear does create little subtle, subtleties. And it's a mix of intentionality and then just what you're doing or what the occasion or what the context is. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Because you're not going to wear the same thing everywhere you go all the time. No. But again, that's being intentional, right? If you know where you're going and who you're going to be around, that will help you to.
And some people are more wired to dress down and more casually, and some people are more wired to go up.
Yeah,
I'm more wired to go up.
Yeah.
I remember when we first started working together, I would wear dresses and heels, and somebody in the studio next door. Her name was Tasha. You remember Tasha?
Yeah.
And she would go, Why are you dressing like this, Jodi? She was in like sweats. Yeah. And I'm like, this is how I feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Even then, and I was new.
Yeah.
And if I had been a little, I don't know, 10 years before that, I would have questioned, maybe I'm not dressing right.
Yeah.
But I knew it's like, this is me. And this is how I want to dress. Mm-hmm. And what I wanted to say was, why are you in sweats?
Missed any part of the show? Get it all on the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi podcast.